Well, listen. If you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help.
When you have nothing meaningful to say, you just keep talking on and on without end. That's exactly what happens on The View. The hosts are completely out of touch with most Americans, and it's no wonder they struggle to connect with voters. Maybe they should try getting their news from somewhere more grounded. Whoopi Goldberg has led The View for years, acting like she ruled the place. She often shuts down guests, steamrolls opposing opinions, and shares her thoughts as if they're absolute facts. But then, something unexpected happened. Karoline Leavitt turned the tables on her, and no one saw it coming. The episode started off like any other, full of smug laughs, eye rolls, and a panel that nodded along in sync with the show's usual left-leaning narrative. But this time, things didn't go as planned.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though. It's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
Whoopi, as confident as ever, leaned back, ready to steer the conversation. Then the topic of wokeness came up, a concept The View fiercely defends, almost like it's their core belief. Feeling untouchable, Whoopi kicked things off with her usual smirk. Pointing at Karoline, she declared, "Without wokeness, you wouldn't even have this job." In that instant, the atmosphere shifted. The audience went silent, and even Joy Behar, known for mocking conservatives, looked noticeably uncomfortable.
Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you continue to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now, as
I'm
for
sorry,
this
guys.
debate,
We're going to come back out to the panel. Karoline, thank you very much for your time.
That was so good.
What Whoopi said next was exactly what you'd expect. Predictable and annoying. After all her years as a host, you'd think she'd have come up with some fresher comebacks by now. But nope, here we are. Let's see what she's got this time.
In a statement afterwards, this young lady claimed her, quote, on-air snub proves that you-know-who will not be treated fairly in the upcoming debate. Now, do you think this is going to make people doubt whether CNN can stay objective, or is this more the same of, everybody's against me, it's all rigged, I tell you. Is everything rigged?
No, it's their MO. That's what they do. Rachel Maddow said last week, she's like, if the election is lost, it was rigged. If there's a debate, then the moderators are probably biased and they're prejudiced against me.
The tension in the room was electric. Everyone braced for what was coming. But Whoopi had no idea what she was in for. This wasn't just a playful debate. It was Whoopi Goldberg taking a shot at Karoline's entire career, intelligence, and work ethic, dismissing everything she'd accomplished as merely a result of the very ideology she opposed. It was condescending and meant to belittle her. Yet, despite the obvious jab, the audience clapped almost automatically. Some even chuckled, but there was an uneasy tension in the air, like they knew Whoopi had crossed a line, but didn't quite know how to react. But Karoline didn't flinch. She didn't stumble or scramble for a comeback. Instead, she just smiled, a slow, knowing smile that said, "You just made a big mistake." It wasn't cocky. It was a look of someone who knew they had the facts, the evidence, and the composure to completely turn the tables. And she did just that. Karoline started with cold, hard facts, numbers that couldn't be brushed off with a sarcastic remark. She laid out government spending reports, exposing how taxpayer dollars were funding shockingly woke programs like gender studies in Guatemala and Sesame Street adaptations aimed at exporting American social activism worldwide. With surgical precision, she connected the dots, revealing how wokeness had shifted from a social movement to a political weapon, one used to silence, control, and punish those who dare to challenge it. And suddenly, Whoopi wasn't laughing anymore.
most divisive and disgusting speech that any president, certainly in my lifetime, has ever given. He essentially waged war on half of the country by saying that we are all a threat to democracy because we believe in putting America first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first. It's not radical to want to have a strong border, a strong military, and to unleash the might of your own economy, not economies around the world.
She's incredibly articulate, isn't she? It's shocking that the host on The View chose to mock her instead of supporting another woman. It really says a lot about their underlying agenda. Let's see how this plays out. I have a feeling Karoline's about to drop some more truth bombs that they won't be able to ignore.
You know, we have seen cultural Marxism trickling its way through every institution in this country. The public school system, the higher education university system, Hollywood, big tech, the corrupt mainstream media that I fought against in President Trump's White House are indoctrinating my generation of Americans into hating our country, hating one another based on race and gender and all of this other BS, quite frankly.
The woman who built her career on dominating conversations, shutting down conservative voices, and bulldozing through tough topics was suddenly on the defensive. Whoopi shifted uncomfortably in her seat, her usual smirk gone, hands fidgeting as if searching for something to hold on to. She was used to guests stumbling over their words, struggling to keep up with her rapid-fire comebacks. But this time, the tables had turned. No matter how much she wanted to clap back and regain control of the conversation, she couldn't. Karoline wasn't giving her the chance. For the first time in a long while, it was obvious. Whoopi Goldberg had backed herself into a corner, and there was no easy escape. She opened her mouth, then closed it, tried again, still nothing. The words just wouldn't come. The audience, usually quick to cheer her on, sat in stunned silence. Even her most loyal fans didn't know how to react. The energy in the room had shifted, and no one knew whether to laugh, clap, or just wait for Whoopi to say something to regain control. Even the camera crew hesitated. Should they zoom in on Whoopi's stunned face, capturing the moment she realized she was trapped, or cut to a commercial and hope viewers would notice? Whoopi, normally so quick with a snide remark or dismissive wave, sat stiffly in her chair, clearly wishing she could disappear into it. And then came the question Karoline had silently posed. Asterisk, if wokeness is truly about diversity and inclusion, why are conservative women the ones being attacked? Why do those who preach tolerance turn so vicious when faced with someone who thinks differently? Asterisk. In that moment, Whoopi realized she had no comeback, no sharp retort, no witty remark to flip the situation in her favor. The silence stretched on, heavy and uncomfortable. Desperate to break the tension, Joy Behar forced out a nervous joke, but was too late. The damage was done. Whoopi Goldberg, the queen of quick comebacks and commanding conversations, had just unraveled on live television.
You know, listen, if you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on. Right. That's what you hear. Yeah. When they don't have anything to hold you with, nothing to make you think about what they have to say.
Whoopi Goldberg's reign on The View came to an unexpected end after years of dominating the show and shutting down opposing voices. The turning point was a showdown with Karoline Leavitt, which revealed her vulnerability on live TV. ABC tried to frame it as a break, but it was clear Whoopi was out. The network scrambled to control the fallout as advertisers pulled support and loyal fans began questioning the show's future. The View now faces a major crossroads. Will they bring in another Whoopi-like figure to keep the status quo? Or is it time for a new direction? Could this be the beginning of the end for the show? Share your thoughts in the comments.